So are you at a point in your P&G career where you're closing in on retirement, but you're just not 100% sure that you've reached that finish line or that comfort level that where you can officially say goodbye and officially retire? Or for those of you maybe who are still a ways from that day, but you want to make sure that you're on track to get there as soon as you can without missing something or maybe veering even more off track, then if you're one of those two people, then I think you're going to be very interested in this video and it should be very helpful for you. Here at Stonehouse Retirement Income Planners, this is what we specialize, your retirement income planning. So that means planning out your retirement, not only your retirement in general, but for those of you at Procter & Gamble, we've gone a step further and we've created a detailed guide to help walk you through this process and get you ready, sort of pre-work as we refer to it in the video. And so whether you're days, weeks, months, or even years away, as advisors, our role is to guide you out of those working years and smoothly transition you into retirement. So if you like what you hear in this video, and I think you will, then at the end of here, I'm going to make an offer for you that I think will be pretty difficult for you to refuse. For those of you who maybe your first time watching one of our videos, let me introduce myself. My name is Bob Brown. I'm a certified financial planner and one of the founding partners here at Stonehouse. But since many years ago when we founded it, we've added some fantastic people. One of those great people is Chad Taake, and Chad works out of our Cincinnati branch. Let me let Chad introduce himself. Chad, go ahead.
Hello. Thanks for inviting me, Bob. I've been with Stonehouse for about 6 years. I'm a bit unique, and also that I still work at P&G, although part-time. So it's currently at a 80% schedule. And as Bob said, kind of trying to replicate the magic that Stonehouse has there in the Mahoopany site, and seeing if we can really serve people in Cincinnati and Cape Girardeau, where I've worked with P&G, as well as the rest of the country, kind of supporting virtual clients as well, to really help them put together a solid plan and then really enjoy retirement.
Yeah, Chad, and kudos to you, because I think you do a fantastic job walking people through the process, right? And I know you're very pragmatic in how you approach it. And I think people like that, because this is, heading into retirement is usually a confusing and stressful time for people. So I think you do a fantastic job. I know you won't say that, but I can say that. It's better coming from me. But let's talk about this retirement guide, Chad. So we have this thing designed specifically for the P&G retiring process. Talk to us about how you're using this guide, how you're leveraging it, and how it's helping or making it easier for the folks that you're working with.
Yeah. So, one of the things that makes, I think Stonehouse unique and special as a place for, P&G employees to kind of work with and start mapping out a retirement plan is, one of Stonehouse's partners worked at P&G for 15 years, and we developed this, retirement guide, to help people think through, but also it's the same process that we internally use with prospects and clients to kind of really map out and build that plan to achieve their retirement goals. And so, like what we use in P&G, we have a checklist, and there's about 20 different items that we work with people on to kind of just start mapping out what does that retirement base plan, as I like to call it, what does that look like for people?
Yeah. So Chad, what are like some of the main items that you go through in that plan, in that guide, I should say?
Yeah. So the guide is all about getting to a plan, right? And it's like kind of really trying to explore all the things that, are going to be impactful into building out that plan. I was, reading some quotes on planning, and one of my favorites is, a lot of people come in with a goal, but a goal without a plan, it isn't going to do much for you, and so the power is really thinking through all these different items, these 20 different pieces on the checklist, and being able to write down and really kind of commit to, what we're going to be working towards from a goal standpoint or your retirement plan standpoint. So it all starts with, one, knowing your living expenses. So what do you need, to live off of to maintain your lifestyle? And, the end goal is to really enjoy your retirement. So, thinking through and getting clear on that. So having a budget, which would include thinking through, healthcare costs, which is a big, item for people, and one that's, top of mind and worrisome for. Another is, that once you have your expenses, you have to offset that with income, so knowing what kind of income you might have in retirement. So obviously there's Social Security. Some people have, farm income or other hobbies that might generate some income. And then we use those two elements to kind of start exploring different scenarios. And that's really, where we like to come in and help people kind of think through using our future you process. And that really allows, people to visually see how different choices that they might make might really impact, when and how their retirement life might look like.
Yeah. And I love that. I think that's why we called it the future you. It's basically financial planning, right? But being able to show somebody this is what your picture looks like in the future. And then they say, well, what if I do this differently? You can basically change that scenario and show them how that might play out in the future. I think that's super powerful. So Chad, is it safe to say, because I know you guys love acronyms at P&G, in terms that pre-work, this retirement guide sounds like pre-work to the actual planning that takes place. Is that a good summary?
No, this guide is a great tool for people, that are wanting to work with, advisors, so it'll walk through exactly the kind of elements that you would want to pull together ahead of a meeting with an advisor. And then there's, the choice, obviously, that you want to tackle it yourself. Most people, when they say the list of 20 items and think that that's quite a bit, and so that's where, an advisor can really help take the burden off of you, but also give you a little bit of the poke. So, sometimes by setting up a meeting with an advisor is just the kind of encouragement you got to give yourself to, you have a meeting on a calendar, you have to get stuff ready. And it really helps people kind of take action because, sometimes that's making that first step is the most difficult a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree with you. The poke or the prod just to get you going in the right direction and everything like that. Are there any elements that people often overlook or just totally forget about?
Yeah, I mean, one area that I would say maybe people don't fully understand or appreciate, with at P&G, that the tax situation can be a bit complex. And so, really thinking through how to optimize your taxes, not just at retirement, but, all the way, through getting Social Security and then eventually having RMDs is definitely one area that is complicated. Not everybody's thought through or not everybody really understands all the tax laws for good reason. And that's another area where, an advisor along with a tax professional can really, really help people. And then the other is, as you start really developing your plan, you're setting yourself up to work towards, an estate. And so then, once we get a good plan, then it starts transitioning to making sure we've got, checked all the boxes from an estate plan standpoint and doing everything that we can to really, put your financial, foundation in a good spot to make not only your, life easy, but then once you pass, making sure that, your heirs have, as little headache as possible, dealing with, that's a difficult time.
Yeah. And I know that you're a busy guy, Chad. You're working with a lot of folks that are in this exact scenario, like sort of on the edge of retirement already. I know you're going to different locations like Cape Girardeau and other locations that P&G has plants and offices. and including Cincinnati. So I want to thank you for taking the time here because you're so passionate about doing this and making a difference in these folks' lives. What I wanted to suggest, I said at the beginning of the video that I have an offer. So we've got 50 of these retirement guides, P&G retirement guides, printed up, ready to go. So I suggest that anybody interested in wanting to see what this guide's all about, see what the process is, and hopefully even talk to Chad and see if you can schedule some one-on-one time, to just simply go to www.pgretire.com/start. And from there, you'll be able to see our guide. You'll be able to see the basics and get our guide delivered right to your house. Or it might be electronically. I'm not sure how our marketing team's going to do it, but we're going to get that in your hands so you can start to walk through that and see what the process is. We're also going to do, because Chad was a big part of this, we have a P&G stock option sheet to help clarify that topic for those of you that might have stock options to consider. This is the information and all this stuff is core to a good exit plan. Okay. So Chad, I can't thank you enough. I know you're a busy guy jumping on the screen with me today. I had to kind of twist your arm, but I really appreciate it. And I hope this helps people along the way.
No, it's my pleasure, Bob. And I just want to say, as people get the guide, I'd love for them to reach out. I'd be happy to kind of put together future you and figure out, how do we get to, your retirement-based plan.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad you added that part. Thanks again, Chad, and we'll see you. I'll grab you for another video sometime in the future.
Thanks, Bob.